It's your two girls, JQ and Dolly.
I was telling Jackie, JQ, that I don't know how I feel about the Dolly con pique anymore. It's just so long. And then I'm like writing it out, and I'm like, Dolly con pique. The little...
Dolly con pique.
The little, like,
the apostrophe thingy.
Yeah, but, like, shit.
Gotta get that little accent going.
So maybe I'm just like Dolly, a.k.a. Dolly con pique, a.k.a...
I'll say Jakey.
J, a.k.a. Jakey. Now we need to use it.
Jakey. JQ, a.k.a. Jackie.
a.k.a. Jakey.
So done.
Anyways.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah, we're so excited to be back. It's been a month.
Yes, it has been.
That's crazy. But we just kind of wanted to, like, take a break and kind of, like, gather our thoughts a little bit and kind of give our podcast a little facelift.
Yes, get some things right.
Yeah. Do some new... bring some new things to you guys, so... We're excited. It was, like, definitely necessary, but...
Yeah. But we're hoping you like it.
Yeah, I missed this.
Yes.
The podcasting. And I feel like we stopped at a very crazy time. We stopped, like, podcasting during a pandemic, during a lockdown, Then, while we were away, a whole damn movement started.
Yes.
Not that it started, because the Black Lives Matter movement started in 2013, which I'm very...
A lot of people did not know about it till this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't.
I didn't know it was, like, all the way back then. But, yeah,
I'm surprised it wasn't longer than that, to be honest. Like, long ago. It just started in 2013. Yeah. You know, it should have started in freaking 19... Right after freaking they got the rights and stuff, you know? Like
Another
1970s, 1980s.
Yeah, well, you mean, like,
There's just... You're right, though. There's so much that's happened in those years, so... It probably wasn't possible at the time.
It's definitely needed, and I feel like this is, like, a perfect time to start that. Like I was telling you before, like, we're in a time with social media. We're in a time where you could record everything that's happening.
And right now, a lot of people are at home. A lot of people are not doing anything.
Right.
They're on their phones.
And everyone can really see the behind the scenes of what this is, especially with protesting. People are able to record and really tell their side of the story. Back then, it was, like, the media...
That's all you knew.
That's all you knew. You couldn't get on. You couldn't get on Google and, like, Google it, and you couldn't get on Twitter or Instagram and look up videos that other people, your friends, are recording or anything. Right. So it's a good time to do it, I feel like. But it's very, very important, and that's why we wanted to start being about the Black Lives Matter movement and everything behind it. Really, what's going on, because we're learning as well. We're not.
Yes, and we're open to learning more. You know, we're not just like, this is our thoughts and our beliefs and that's it. We know that there's a lot more that we don't know. So we are more than open and willing to learn, you know? So if you got more that you want to teach us, you teach us, because we're willing to learn and hear about it.
But I feel like the best way to learn more is to spread the knowledge that you know, and then hopefully You can receive receive some knowledge in return. But I think this movement is really, really important, and I want to spread the knowledge that I've learned.
Right.
And hopefully this is...
So that others can continue to do what's right for certain people.
Yeah. So if you don't know this by now, this episode is about the Black Lives Matter. And what led up to that, which was the George Floyd thing, where the cop fucking kneeled on his neck for 8 minutes and almost 9 minutes.
I think that was just like, we were talking about that and we thought that was just like the tip of the iceberg. Because there's been so many. It's not even just George Floyd. George Floyd was... one of the last ones that, you know, that happened to. And since then, there still has been killings, you know? So, I'm positive that there's thousands of names that are out there of murders that have not been solved.
This was just, like, the one thing that was, like, people are so done with it. And a lot of people are really opening their eyes. I think that opened a lot of people's eyes. Like, what the hell? Why do they feel they have the right to do these things or take somebody's life because they do something? Right. You know, so... And I think that another cool thing about this that's happening right now is there's a lot of non-Black people that are joining the movement. There's a lot of white people joining in. And
which is awesome to see. It's amazing to see, because, you know...
It's kind of like everyone's tired of it.
When people unite and they are like that, people get scared. Mm-hmm. Higher up people get scared. That's what I want to say. Yeah. Because when they have influence over a lot of people, it's it can be something for them. They can't control us. You know what I'm saying? They can't control certain things. So, we'll see. I hope that this makes a difference. People are still marching. You know, people are still protesting.
I know. It's crazy.
So, I mean, I believe it. I hope so. I hope they do it for a long time. And if we could be a part of some, I hope that we can be a part of more.
Do you know how long it's been going on for?
Oh, man.
I think like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, so far I think so. But
That's
hopefully
insane.
we can be a part of more too, because me and Ollie were a part of one, and it went really well. It was very peaceful. You know, the people who did protest wanted a peaceful protest. They just wanted it to be, you know, just peaceful. We were saying that it's very empowering to go to something like that. And
it was very empowering.
It was very like everyone was supporting each other. Like it was insane. People were handing out water bottles. People were handing out food, sandwiches, all types of stuff.
Even like little pamphlets to keep in your pocket if you get arrested. Like who to call, what to do, lawyers, just like they were prepared, way prepared, which was really cool because that's how you're supposed to do it, you know, like
right. That's how it's supposed to be. Of course, we had people that were like wanted to be unruly and they went in the street and try to stop traffic and things like that. But like everyone was like, nah, bro, that's not gonna happen here. Yeah, we're here to have peaceful protests. We're here to, you know, spread the word in a peaceful way, and that's it. And it was just great. It was really great.
And then it's so crazy because you look on. Well, I've been looking on social media and I see. It's just so crazy to me how there's police brutality at the police brutality protests. Yeah. And then...
Makes perfect sense, right?
And then everyone's complaining about the riots, which I don't agree with the riots either. I don't think that's the way to go. But no. I also, how you were saying, I'm not allowed to say how somebody's supposed to be mad.
Right. You're not supposed to, like, especially with, I feel like with African Americans, Black people... We can't tell them not to be angry, you know, like, how are you going to tell them, you calm down, you know, like, no, we are mad, we are enraged, so, like, you know.
And I don't agree with, it's just crazy how, like, the cops, you got the whole SWAT team ready at the protest, like, what's up, ready to throw tear gas into a peaceful protest and ready to shoot rubber bullets, but the riots can go on for hours, recorded. They're recording it and putting it on the news, but no one's stopping it. That's just sketchy as hell. There's a lot of sketchy things that are happening behind this, and I feel like I'm learning more and more as the days go on. Like,
girl, all of it's sketchy.
All of it.
It's just like, I don't know. You can only protect yourself. So, like, I feel like you get your own gun, you do what you need to do.
And it's weird. Not weird. It's just what a coincidence that this is all happening the year of elections, that we're supposed to be electing a new president. It's just crazy how this is all happening then. And I don't know how true this is. I probably should have looked it up before saying this, but somebody had told me that the last march, the last big Black Lives Matter march, happened right before an election too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then you're seeing things like the riots. I've been seeing videos of cops breaking the windows into these buildings, into these businesses, start to like kind of like antagonize people and like push people.
Stuff, right. Instigate and make it seem like...
Instigate, that's the word I'm looking for.
To instigate and make it seem like, you know, oh, they're doing this, so like, they're doing this. What are you guys doing? Breaking windows and everything, and they might not even be breaking windows. Thugs. You know? Right.
And then you see these, I saw a video of a cop telling this white girl, a group of cops telling this white girl to spray paint, put BLM, put Floyd.
Oh my God.
And all this stupid shit. And I'm like, dude, you can't trust no one.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting out of this.
You know, and then what cracks me up, I mean, it doesn't crack me up, but, you know, this George Floyd situation became viral and everyone knows about it, right? But, you know, a lot of other people, you know, they were quick to grab all the people involved with his death and charge them and blah, 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 blah. But all these other people that it happened to or that were killed, like Breonna Taylor's,
they still haven't been charged.
No, they have not been charged. I don't even think they've been arrested.
And that's the whole point of it. Somebody had told me, like, they arrested the guy that killed George Floyd. What else do these people want? And I'm like, what? What do you
every
mean?
Single cop that has killed someone, an innocent bystander.
Right.
Well, not even innocent bystander. I'm going to say someone who's unarmed. Because a lot of these people that are shot and killed are unarmed. And they're just killing them.
Right. And it's like, just hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. That's what we want. If you kill somebody, like that, it's murder. And no matter who you are, no matter if you have a badge or not,
There's
it's fucking murder.
Right.
And like, that's what people want. It's not that, charge the 4 cops that killed the one person. No, charge the people that are bad.
Right.
And there's a lot like, there's good cops and bad cops, which I totally agree with. But this is just a profession that there's no room for bad cops. You have to hold them accountable. There's no room for bad seeds,
I feel like
bad apples.
It just goes so much deeper than that, because if we want to say that too, which you're 100% right. You know, there's we don't need bad cops in the system, and we don't need but there's bogus politicians, there's bogus people just running. The whole system itself is bullshit. It needs to be thrown out and recreated. But like you were saying before, like it's gonna take time, and that just takes a long time. You know, these rules and these laws were written how long ago?
Yeah.
Times have completely changed. Other things need to change as well. So, like, I don't know. We need people that are strong and actually care about people, you know, and care about every life. You know, not just a certain race or, you know, like, and like we were saying, people are saying all the time, all lives matter. Okay, it's true. But is everyone in danger? No.
Right.
Right now, I feel like Black and Latino lives are the number one that are like...
Yeah.
With as many people as they're taking and deporting and all types of stuff, you know, it's just crazy.
Yeah. It's not an all... And don't say all lives matter. If you're one of the people saying all lives matter during one of these times, I get it. It's true. All lives matter, but...
Right now, whose life is in danger?
Right.
And my thing is, too, I feel like if they could have done that to African Americans, they would have sent them off somewhere, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, somewhere where they're originally from, whatever, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So, like...
For sure. And it's just crazy the more you look into it on the politics side of it, because the Democrats want to seem all for this movement, right? And all for, like, yeah, all lives matter, including black lives. I feel like that's what the Democrats are trying to play themselves as, or
portray themselves.
Portray. I cannot figure out the words today. Portray themselves as. But if you look back in history, the Democrats were the ones that did not want to end slavery. They were the slave owners. It was the Republicans that fought to end slavery.
Yeah. And now they're trying to make up for it.
And now,
trying to be people pleasers. That's what Democrats are. Democrats are people who like to be people pleasers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're for this, we're for that, we're for this. You know, we're for everything.
I know.
So I feel, I'm like, what?
For real, and it just makes you think. And I read some
you can't trust any of them, man. It's
no,
just
they're
a
all
big
sketchy
game.
as hell.
It's just a big game.
I read something like the Democrats are some conspiracy thing that, like, oh, the cities that are knocking down statues of, like, slave owners and shit and, like, all that are all Democratic states, and they're allowing it because they want their, like, history to be erased in a sense. And I'm like...
But a lot of people don't know their history, and a lot of people don't know their rights. And I think that's the issue. A lot of people are not taught, and they have no knowledge of what, you know, any of that is.
Yeah.
That's most people. They just live their day-to-day lives doing whatever they want to do, but don't know about what's going on, you know?
And that was, like, kind of me in a sense, because I hate politics. I don't like getting into politics. I think it's just a headache. But the more that I grow up, the more that I'm like... Yeah, and everything is politics. There's politics in anything that if you have an interest in something, it has to do with there's politics wrapped up in it. So I'm realizing in a sense that I have to be somewhat educated about it and concerned about it because everything revolves around it.
Right.
And so it's just like a lot of information all at once. And that's what I was, when we were talking the last time, what I was telling Jackie is like when there's with the rioting, I get the rioting is not a good thing. No one should be rioting and looting and shit. But when you're young and a lot of information is given to you and your eyes start to open to the reality that you're living in, it can get your first emotion could be like very enraged and angered.
Of course. And
especially if you're on the wrong side. Like if you're a black kid or a Latino and you're young and you start to realize like, shit, this is my life.
Right.
I'm scared. My family's scared. People get angry and people get really, and I feel like we need to teach younger kids, younger people, ourselves, that anger should not be the first emotion you react off of. You're going to get angry and then you need to sit back, sit down and really channel that and use it constructively.
Yeah. I feel like for kids to be able to do that, and I just feel like the parents need to have that knowledge on how to do that.
Exactly.
And they have to have the knowledge, period, of what's going on. And not going to say because I don't know, but I know that a lot of Black people don't know their rights or what their history or what needs to go, what needs to happen, how to do it. So they can't teach that to their kids.
Yeah.
So then what does that result in? You have a younger generation that knows nothing. And they do nothing. So, with this, I think it's just a big old wake-up call.
Yeah.
And it's a great one for Black lives.
Yeah.
Because they deserve to have life, too. They should have just as much of a chance to change their life or do something right, because the system and the way that it is has always meant to hold them down, hold them back. So, I don't know. You have to move accordingly. You have to...
And keep educating ourselves on it. Because no one can take away your knowledge.
Yeah. And I think Meg Stallion had a quote or something like that said, school is not for everyone. But it's very smart to try to get your knowledge. We need smart people who actually care to be doctors, to be politicians, to be, and that's our younger generations, even us, so we have to set it up for our kids to be that way. Yeah. It takes a village, aka all of us, to do something right,
It's true, and it's just so important. This opened my eyes especially to that. And really understanding, especially minorities, teaching our kids to be good at something other than like a sport. Yeah, the sports and stuff like that, that's awesome, and that can get you to school. But when you're in school and you have like those scholarships or you're paying for college and shit, use it to your advantage. We need Black and Latino lawyers. We need Black and Latino doctors, because those are the ones that are going to be on our side for real, trying to help their community.
We definitely need Latino politicians and things like that. Not just the ones who are going to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there are Latino politicians everywhere. But if they're not doing the right thing, then what's the point? It's useless. So, I don't know.
And then it's just so... Because politics is such a dirty game that it's like... what if you think you're doing the right thing? And you're really screwing up a group of people.
Right.
Without unintentionally doing it. Or maybe you're intentionally doing it, but you're like, you know what? Some people got to get down so the others can get ahead. Your mind starts to, like, change. Yeah. I don't know. Politics is so dirty.
I would feel like, if I was in politics, I would feel like everyone is so, so fake and so dirty. Like you said, you would feel like you would have no other choice but to be the same. To get to their level or to be, like, So I just don't
play that game.
I like to know what's going on. I don't get too involved. And people will say, I don't get too much in politics. Sometimes it's, it's not in their interest. But it is smart to know what's going on. Because you need to know what's going on in your time, man. You can't just be out here not knowing anything.
There's a really good app that I heard from another podcast, from the Shit I'm 30 podcast. She talks about this Politiscope app. And it's super easy to try to understand everything that the bills that they're trying to pass and everything in politics that they're trying to, like, do.
Yeah, I think we have the app, actually.
Yeah, and it's really helpful for times like right now that it'll really give you a clear understanding. Very, very simple understanding. Is that the word Bitch, I cannot think of my words right now. But it gives you a good, clear understanding of, like, who you want to vote for, what each candidate is saying that they're going to bring to the table and stuff like that. So it's like an easy guide to politics.
That's kind of cool.
Politiscope.
I like it because it gives you the up and down, see how many people agree with it,
right?
How many people disagree.
And then
with
like with bills that want to get passed, it goes through like the different stages.
And I love, this is another reason why I kind of love technology, because you would never have this, if it wasn't for that.
No,
so like it gives you a very big picture of what's going on, especially everything in just random states and just stuff that's trying to be passed in general, because on day to day you don't know that, you don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of gives you a update as to what's going on in the country and what type of things we're trying to do. And
yeah, you have a whole school on your phone. You can get a whole education right on your iPhone or on your I don't know if y'all have Android. Maybe not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We still love you, Android users.
But no, for real, like you have so much knowledge right at your fingertips, which is important because African Americans and Latinos have to teach themselves their own culture. We're not taught it here in America like that.
Yeah.
We're not, I mean, we get February is fucking
Hispanic month?
No, is African American History Month.
Look, I was gonna say Latinos.
We have October, I think it is.
Martin Luther King month, isn't that? There's Martin Luther King Day right in there.
Martin Luther King Day in January, and then February is like the shortest month of the whole fucking year, and that's what they gave them. And then you're gonna just put their culture all in 1 month in a total 28 days. That's what you're gonna do? Nah, that ain't shit.
Let's be real. It'll take years.
Years, especially there's still things I'm learning about my culture, about being Puerto Rican, and we have African American in us. So not only do we have to learn our culture, we have to learn African American culture to really get a clear understanding of our culture in a sense too, or African culture.
Yeah, because that is part of who we are. So I mean, for us, I feel like if you are a Latino that has African descent in you, it would be a shame for you not to support Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah.
Just because this is part of who we are. You know, this is like our brothers and sisters too, you know?
And there's a lot of Latino racists.
There are. There are.
Especially, it actually like frustrates me how many Latino racists there are that don't support this movement. And you're just like, bitch, this is you. This is you too. Mm-hmm. Take a seat.
Right.
Learn.
Take a seat and hold the sign.
Right. Take this sign and put it up in the air and shut the fuck up.
Better agree.
No, but
but let's talk about how we have new segments.
Oh yeah, we have new segments.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
It's exciting. One of our segments is called our Grown Folk Business.
Yes. So it's kind of what we want to do for it is if you guys email us any stories you want to tell us, any questions you want us to ask, anything like that so we can answer it on the show. That'll be our Grown Folk Business. We're brand new.
We don't have too much right now. But our, we'll ask questions occasionally through our social media. So whatever answers we get and which ones we select and choose, certain ones, and we mention them on our podcast too as well. Yeah.
Do you want me to go into my Grown Folk Business?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this is like, So with the whole thing going on, the whole pandemic, of course, I haven't been working. I've been looking for other jobs. And before this happened, the George Floyd thing happened, I was on Indeed. This is how crazy it is. I was on Indeed, and they're saying on Indeed that there's a job position open as a correctional officer at a jail. And they're like, all you need is a high school diploma and
we got benefits.
Right, we'll do on-the-job training. You're fine, and you just don't need to have. You need to be a citizen of the U.S. and you need to have no felony charges. And I'm like, hey, and a high school diploma. In my head, I'm like, I got all three of those.
Right, let's go.
Let me apply. Like, you're gonna give me free, and they pay for school tuition reimbursement. So I'm like, oh, you're gonna like that's pretty decent. Mm-hmm. I applied for it, and then all of the George Floyd things happened. The protests started happening, and it really was like, shit, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can go into jail. I can't go on the other side with the cops and befriend the cops right now. I'm over here screaming on my Facebook, fuck the police.
Right. And I'm like correctional officer resume, here we go. Like, oh my God, that's so funny.
And then they sent me like a questionnaire to answer because after I applied, all that stuff happened, and then they emailed me. They were like, oh, we need you to answer this questionnaire. And it was the craziest questions, like, would you be willing to shoot an inmate if they were trying to run away?
Oh my God.
I was like, nope. And they called me in for an interview. And so now I'm like, shit.
And it's actually this Wednesday, right?
This Wednesday.
Ooh. Next episode, will figure out what happened.
And my ass, I'm like, okay, this is still a great opportunity. And I really believe in the quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'm over here screaming for cops to change and for all that to change. And I could be the change.
Could be the one, yeah.
And I could be that person to like, which I wouldn't be a cop. I would be a correctional officer. But
still.
Still. eventually, what I would
so really
want,
hard too. I think about the stuff that you would have to
deal with.
I'm like, Dios Santo, protect my baby.
I know, and bitch, it's in a male jail.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god.
A male jail.
My girl got.
I got a big booty. It ain't gonna work. They're gonna see me at that interview and be like, nah.
Turn around real quick.
Get out here. And then they're gonna look at my Facebook and be like, this bitch is crazy.
She's not for us, she's against us. That's so funny.
But I don't know. It's like a good opportunity. And what I would originally want to do, because I'm getting a psychology degree, I would want to do like counseling at a juvenile center. And that's a good in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit.
That's some good, that's some good experience.
Right.
If you can deal with the grown man.
Can you imagine? Everyone get down.
I said get your ass down. Take the baton.
I'm searching all this shit. I'm not even that mean of a person.
But you know what? It might make you that way though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be that way.
What did I say?
Everyone get in line right now. I'm not even intimidating. They're gonna be like, who's this bitch?
You gotta be that way. You gotta be like hard.
Or watch my ass get corrupt, and I'll be like, I'm sneaking you in some weed.
Yo, what do you need?
I don't care. All lives matter.
Listen. Don't ruin your opportunities. She's gonna mess around there. Look, we know you have podcasts.
I know. So
we listened to the last episode.
So we heard you on your, are we adulting yet, is it? How about, are we fired yet, bitch?
Are we hired yet? No. I'm done. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's my grown folk business. I don't know what to do. This is like really hardcore adulting, something that it's a great opportunity, but it kind of like goes against
what you believe.
What I believe in and what I stand for.
That's hard. That's hard though. Because, you want to set yourself up, for certain things in life. And it's crazy because sometimes you got to make that sacrifice. But it's like, man, is this a sacrifice worth taking,
Right.
Like, oh, man. That's a hard one. But I'm behind you 24,
24/7.
24/7.
They're going to be at the jail. Who's like behind you?
When you move to the left, I move to the left.
Oh, that's just my friend.
That's cute.
She'll be fine.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. But yeah, I don't know what to do.
I support you in whatever you do.
Thanks.
That's what I meant to say. I'm behind you 24.
Creepy.
Fucking creep.
Okay, but yeah, so next thing. Yeah, if you guys hear this and you want to like shoot me a DM or something, let me know what you think. I'm gonna get everyone. Don't do it.
What are another segment that we have is our away segment, and that one just includes our abbreviations away, and we changed it up different ways.
Sorry.
So this week we're gonna call it, instead of "Are we adulting?" Are we adulting yet? We are calling it, Are we aware yet?
Yeah, so every episode it'll be like, Are we blank yet? And we'll fill it in.
If you have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
But yeah, our thing today is, are we aware yet? Are we aware of what's really going on? I don't think I'm aware of like the big picture.
Oh, there's so much more.
Yeah.
It takes a while to... I want to actually talk to someone who's very much in touch with what's going on and what's been going on.
Right.
Like, it's easy to find stuff in different places, but I remember I had my godbrother talk to me about how the Black Panthers... I feel like there were a lot of people who did a lot of good things in a lot of good ways and peaceful ways.
Yeah.
But people were killed in the process. The main people who were leading these big movements were killed. So Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, even with the Black Panthers, they shut that down real quick.
Yeah, saying that they're a terrorist group. Bitch, y'all were scared.
I mean, back then, who was there to protect them besides themselves?
You're right.
So how could you be? I don't know. It's just insane. But I think that it's very important that a lot of people have been involved, not everyone. But all 50 states were involved.
Yeah.
18 plus countries were involved as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing to see. That's definitely history, you know? Like,
I think what's important too when you're like becoming aware of everything that's going on is to try to get two sides of it. Because, right, like it's good to get if you stand with the Black Lives Matter, that's awesome. Go for it, you know? But try to get the side of somebody else so you can see where their head is at. Because everyone's perception is different. Mm-hmm. Everyone grew up differently. 100%. Segregation, like the Jim Crow laws, where everyone was segregated, everyone, like black people at the back of the bus, there was different bathrooms and shit. That only ended in 1964. So there's like grandparents probably still alive and shit. That experience that, and they're like teaching their kids and their grandkids that side of it and what they believe in. So you can't knock somebody for thinking differently. Try to get into their head and try to understand where they're coming from too. Mm-hmm. So you can get the full big picture.
In different perspectives as well.
Yeah, and that's
it makes you look at things differently sometimes, you know. 100%, just because, like she's saying, you don't come from the same walk of life. Everyone comes from a different walk of life.
Right, and everyone's going to look at something differently.
So
I always use
especially when you experience something and it hits close to home. You're going to experience it differently. You're going to look at it differently than somebody else, you know, so.
Yeah. I always use there was like some quote or meme that said like, there was a professor that asked his class if this book was red, and the part that he was showing them, it was blue. And he's like, this book is red, and everyone's like, no, it's blue, it's blue. And then he turned it around, and the whole moral of it was, don't tell somebody that they're wrong until you see it from their side. And it's true, and I think that kind of goes into we got a new segment, another segment too, that's our adulting tip of the day. So we're going to give you a little tip every episode, and it's pretty much like when someone disagrees with you, try not to go off. When somebody disagrees with you about your beliefs and stuff, it's so hard because I do that all the time. I go off because I'm so passionate about what I'm talking about. But like I was saying earlier, don't let anger be the emotion that you react off of.
Yes, of course. Like you got to look at things from other people's eyes, you know? Mm-hmm. So like,
I was talking to somebody the other day that I thought would never be a Trump supporter, and he told me he was going to vote for Trump. And I was like, I just don't understand. Yeah. And of course, like, if I would have reacted like that, like, you're an idiot. How? Right. Why would you? Why the fuck would you vote for Trump? He probably would have, like, you know, no one wants to be approached like that, first of all. Yeah. And then, they want to defend themselves back. Right. Off bat. But instead, I tried to listen, and I listened to what he had to say. And some of the stuff, even though I didn't agree with all of it, but some of the stuff he was saying made sense to me. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't agree with it, but I was seeing where he was coming from. And that's actually when I learned that the Republicans were responsible for freeing the slaves. And the Democrats didn't want it. And then that's when I learned that Trump has actually been donating to black owned businesses and stuff like that. And I didn't know. I thought, you know, of course you want to say
cool points.
Yeah, he was making some solid fact points that I was like, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. Yeah. And how he thinks that this is all just a political ploy for elections, which I think it is too.
Oh, of course. There's always a method to his little madness and the stuff that he does, you know? Yeah. But I just think overall people need to be agree to disagree. This is not... Right. What's wrong is wrong. That's how it's just put. What's wrong is wrong. Mm-hmm. This right here, people can argue about BLM, you know, oh, like that, or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. At the end of the day, what's being done to Black lives is wrong. Right. It's wrong. And I can guarantee you a lot of people have more, would be more understanding of each other's situations because we have more in common than people think, than we do that aren't, you know. I feel like a lot of people have more in common than what's not in common. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, even though we have this one disagreement, I'm sure there's a lot of things that I can talk to you about. Maybe if I talk to you about my story, and you'll be understanding of it. You know, and then, you know, but some people don't want to do that. So they just go on with their lives, whatever. They don't want to understand. They just have their opinion, and that's that.
And some people are just flat out fucking racist.
Yeah.
Like, they just really think that
it surprises me when people, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but, like, it shocks me, you know, when people do say stuff like that or say crazy things.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? You just said that? What?
And then you hear, like, the stories about, like, white supremacist groups that are coming to the riots and starting shit and coming to the protests and starting shit. And I'm like, y'all really have nothing else better to do. Like, it really pisses people off this much that they're like, we're gonna go. I saw on social media the other day, these Trump supporters were at a protest and they were holding up Trump signs and they were like throwing out the hard R N word, like heavy. At the protests. And, like, why? Like, why? People are like...
To antagonize and to try to start shit. That's what it's for.
And it's like, it's 2020. Are we still fighting racism? We're still trying to, like... And then a lot of another thing that, like, kind of grinds my gears about this is, like, a lot of these people are all for God and religion, and... But you're hating something that was created in God's eyes.
Right.
So, like...
Supposedly them through the Bible, you know, he loves all of his kids, right? He loves all of his creation. So if we're all of his creation, you should love them too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of them are hypocrites, especially when it comes to the Bible and things like that.
Yeah, they just pick and choose what they want to follow, what they want to believe in. If you get a chance... Check out the documentary on Netflix called Age of Rage, and it'll talk about, like, the super alt-right. I guess you have, like, the right and the left of the Democrats and the Republicans. And, like, the Republicans...
crazy.
It's crazy to think about.
It goes into depth and, like, in so many ways that you did not even think was possible. Like,
yeah.
I learned a lot.
And they like, say white people have a higher IQ than... other people, so we're like at the top. It's just science. It's fucking
no,
crazy,
it's the way you guys laid out the way things were supposed to be in your eyes.
Right.
So you can't expect, like, now, you know, things are coming of age where people can, you know, it hasn't been that long ago since segregation ended. Mm-mm. So after that, you know, people still acted the same, but black people did not have the same rights and the same opportunities as white people. So you can't come over here and tell me, oh, you know, our race has been smarter than blah, blah. Of course. Because first off, you guys
were at the top.
Right.
You guys
had
made
these
it that
people
way.
Picking cotton and doing all this stuff for you when teaching them a single thing in a book. I'm sure there were, like, because I know, like, there was probably some slave owners that bought slaves just to kind of have them free within their, you know, land or whatever. But, you know, most of them didn't do that.
Shit.
Right.
No, but it's true. It's crazy to really think about it's just so much. And that documentary, it kind of opened my eyes to, there's, like, people that believe in what they believe in, but there's people that, like, truly go way too into it, and that's on the left and on the right. And then you have these people that now it's a hate group, and it's kind of like you get what they're saying and you get kind of like their point of views, and it's all just hate. Now we're all just spewing hate for each other, and that's not the way to go.
But it's crazy to think that these people tell themselves something so much they believe it to be true.
Oh yeah.
And, like, the things they come up with, you're like, what in the hell? Like, what?
It's crazy, dude.
Some white people who are real believers that, you know, they should have, they want to increase the white race. They don't want it to be, you know, they don't want to go extinct and all that other stuff. Like, they want the white race to be the number one race, and, you know, that's all they want. Yeah. They want to have their... They
want the whole world to be American. They want everything to be American.
Yeah.
Watch that documentary, guys, if you haven't already. Wait. It's so good. It's so good. And kind of disturbing a little bit, but it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like, discrimination is just everywhere. I think like Snoop Dogg said it best. Racism isn't new. It's just being recorded.
Right. Especially with everything that we have now.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't new. This has been happening behind cameras before this even was, like, you know, before we even had cell phones. Imagine how many people were abused or killed, or, you know, that their lives never got justice. Their families never got justice. Their family never got answers. You know,
it's so sad. And I know we see discrimination every single day, especially us as Latinas. We see discrimination all the time. Real quick, the definition of discrimination is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. And I see that every day with all three of those. Discrimination against race, discrimination against age, discrimination against sex, and it's all happening all at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really, imagine
and
being...
we're supposed to be a country that doesn't discriminate against those things.
Right. And imagine being like a young, transgender, black boy or girl. You just got it all kinds of hard.
Right.
For what? For trying to live your life?
Right. Trying to be happy, trying to be yourself.
And it's just so like... It's really frustrating that this is the world that we live in, but everyone, at the same time, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And just because everyone's opinion, people's opinions aren't always gonna
match up, agree and everything, you know,
right?
Like, no,
and that's just, you know,
that's how it is.
That's how the world is. It's everywhere. People are always gonna think,
but we can agree to disagree.
Book, like earlier, the book is either blue or the book is red. Right. They're gonna fight you to the end to try to prove their point.
I mean, you know what? Circumstances like this, though, I want to say like, oh, you can be understanding and, you know, let me look at it through their point of view. You know, all lives matter, blah, 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 blah. But in my opinion, it's like, there's no, like I said before, it's either right or wrong.
Yeah.
There is no all lives matter, whatever. But like, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. You can't tell me if the roles were switched, that y'all this would not be an issue. No, y'all would be furious.
You guys would, all you parents out there would be livid if your kid died for something that for no reason.
That could have been stopped.
That could have been completely avoided.
Yeah, prevented.
It didn't even need to happen.
It's just sad because, like, with my son being part black, I feel like, and being a male, that's even, you know, like, I feel, not that I'm saying that black men have it worse, but I feel that they are tried more. And,
well, I know you've seen your fair share of, like, discrimination just either with yourself or with your ex and stuff like that. Yeah, you've seen it firsthand.
And I mean, my ex was half white, half black. And I'm telling you, they didn't give a fuck about that other half being white. All they saw was black. And they were like, you are black. That's all we see. So it was like, damn. Like, I was telling Dolly that someone had given him a roll of paper. I don't know if I had mentioned this before. Someone had given him a roll of tissue paper.
No, I don't remember this.
On each sheet, there was a picture of Obama. And it was toilet paper. Gosh. And just gave it to him. And then they would, like, you know, I think someone had told him. See, I haven't experienced it like that. I've had people, you know, here and there kind of say different things. Mm-hmm. Not knowing, you know, like someone was talking about Puerto Ricans, not knowing I was Puerto Rican. Yeah. Because, you know, I look like I'm mixed or whatever. But he was playing some hip hop and someone was like, stop playing them coon tunes. And I was like, when he told me that, I'm like, whoa. Like, coon tunes. He gets tried. I feel like men have more, especially white men, they don't care about, they'll tell men whatever, especially black men, how they feel and the way they are, and then you'll know.
Dude, and it's crazy that you're kind of like used to that, so you kind of have to like learn how to react to it and learn how to deal with it.
Because if you react in a crazy way, you're wrong, right?
Right.
Everyone has freedom of speech, right?
I remember my ex's mom used to tell me that she gave, my ex has like a super, super common white boy name. And she told me straight up, I gave him that name so that he doesn't get discriminated against on job applications or anything like that. They're going to think he's a white boy. And I'm like, that's fucking sad that you even had to think about that.
Right.
And I'm like, my parents did not think about they named me the most Spanish name.
Dalisa. Dalisa. I guarantee you, if you're listening to this right now, you've never heard anybody named Dalisa.
They're going to be like, that's thick.
She's Hispanic or something.
Yeah, dude. And it's just crazy. And I remember his kid was half white. And his mom used to be like, oh, he's going to have it so good. He's light-skinned. Right. He has that good color.
And that's crazy like, to think that she thinks that way, man.
Yeah.
And it's not just her.
That's
it's a
like
lot.
Embedded in her. That's like, it just comes out naturally. We were just having natural conversation and it just like, whatever.
It's
and I'm
crazy
like,
because I feel like the black community has found ways to
kind of cope and
accommodate and like deal with how things are in a way, like they try to use it in a way so it benefits them even though it's not for them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's just so sad.
It is. And
then you wonder why people are enraged. People are pissed off.
They have a reason to be.
Right. And I get it. And like,
you know, these are things that I feel like normal Americans don't have to deal with this shit.
Yeah, and I feel like even us, we have a privilege to an extent because we're lighter skinned and we don't have to really deal with the racism as heavy as a dark black person would, you know? We get an advantage and we kind of have a privilege, but it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy.
But you know, I feel like that's also within every race too, because like, you know, we have our dark people in our race and we have our light skinned people, and like me and Dolly have this conversation all the time about how our parents were brainwashed to try to be more white or like have straight hair or whatever the case is, you know?
Yeah.
But
girl, I just learned the other day that one time the cops pulled my dad out of the car and beat the shit out of him.
Oh, man.
Remember, were you there when my mom told me that? I was like, I'm almost 30 years old and I'm just now hearing this story?
Right.
That's crazy. Mm-mm. But, like, that would never happen to my mom's very, very light-skinned.
Right, that wouldn't happen.
And she straightens her hair. She's looking very, very American.
Yeah.
Even though she's, like, full
when
Puerto
my
Rican.
mom, remember when my mom got pulled over and the guy gave her the ticket? Mm-hmm. And it was, like, black, white, Hispanic, and he put black because my mom's a little dark-skinned. Which, whatever, but you know what I'm saying?
Which always confuses me. What do you put on... Because it says, like, race.
And it's bad, but I always put white. I always put white because you're not about to charge. That's crazy because they fucked up the system to where, like, if you're trying to get into school or you're trying to do something and you put that you're black, it's been proven that they charge you more in schools and stuff. It's insane.
That's so crazy.
And it's bogus. But there's so many different things that they do to hold and discriminate against people by, you know, these are the loopholes that they use to do that. Even though they say they're not going to do that, you know?
Right.
So
there's always going to be a loophole and some shit. Now we got to start figuring out our own loopholes.
Dude.
So we can start getting ahead.
But the thing is, too, I think I mentioned this before, is that, you know, we want to stand with black people. We want to stand with African Americans. But also, I feel that they need to hold themselves accountable for certain things.
Yes.
Back home, right now, black on black killings is ridiculous. You cannot stand up together and say Black Lives Matter if you guys are not taking care of each other. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? This kind of, you can, it like, what is it called? It's the complete opposite of what you're standing for.
Right.
You know, these people are trying to knock us down and knock minorities down just in general every day. With different things that we do in our life. They're trying to knock us down.
We have to be smarter than that. We have to, like, come together and be like...
That's what I'm saying. We got to come together.
There's bigger shit going on than what me and you got.
Besides the drama in the streets. And that's why I'm just like... And I understand, and it's crazy because they've placed us in these areas to do certain things to corrupt us and to make us the way they are. So, like, people fighting in the streets and killing each other over what? Over drugs, over whatever. It's just like... Or beef.
It's not worth it.
It's not.
We got bigger shit we got to figure out, guys.
It's enough people getting killed by police.
Right.
And for you guys to be killing each other is just, like, crazy, too. Like, you know, I understand people got beef, but at some point, this is a moment where you need to stand together for what's right for your kids to have a better future.
Exactly.
You can't show your kids what, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are still in that lifestyle, and they want to, you know, they have kids, and they don't realize that what they're doing and what they're setting them up for is, you know, they have to realize that. What are you setting your kid up for? What are you setting up your life? What are you setting for yourself to be an example for them?
Exactly.
What are you doing? What are you doing to make a difference within the black community? Because you know how it is. What are you doing? Ask yourself those questions, you know? So, like...
Jackie's very passionate about this.
I am.
But it's so true.
Because back in Chicago, like...
And it's so sad. You see it every day. It's like an everyday type thing.
Dude, it's an everyday thing for them over there. But it's not cops killing. I'm sure it's some cops killing people, but
they don't even need to involve the cops. People are doing it for
each other, and that's what's crazy. And then there's mothers who are lost without sons, and then you repeat that cycle over and over. You know, oh, you killed my friend, we're gonna come for your son, and then their son dies.
We gotta be smarter than this shit.
No, what you're doing in your community is leaving heartbroken families alone, and you're leaving them without sons, without, you know, like, no person should have to bury their son, and I don't know, or daughters, and I don't know how many people have had to bury their kids, innocent or not. It's just ridiculous because there have been a ton of innocent bystanders who have died just because of the bullshit. But it's just like, damn, like, you know, we got to hold each other accountable for situations like that and then change it and build to be something else. Create a new a new wave of something, you know, like
it's just something that's gonna take so much time though, because people are so set in their ways. It's like the same thing as this segregation, but it didn't end. It ended something, and then but the problem's still not fixed.
And I'm sure someone from Chicago is like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, they're living that reality. I'm not.
Yeah.
And out there, it is like a war zone. You have to be careful, especially as a guy. Like, you know, I can hear this all day. One of them can hear and be like, yeah, I believe that. But let me stay strapped up, because someone might come around the corner and try to kill me. You know what I'm saying?
And like, at that point, it's like protection. It's like you're in too deep. You just have to. It's just a lot. It's going to take a while if that even happens.
But that's what we were saying. After you can protest, but what are you going to do after the protest?
Yeah.
What are we going to do to make a difference after that?
Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yes.
One thing that I think I'm going to get bashed a little bit about that I want to mention, but I'm going to mention because it's like, it really bothered me. Okay. I'm all for, I think George Floyd, what happened to him was fucked up. I don't think that needed to happen to him, to anybody that's happened to, you know? I don't think that was right. But I was on TV the other day and they were like live showing his funeral and first of all.
And that made her feel some type of way.
It really did, because okay, first of all, I heard that he got like the family got like donated $14 million or some shit. And he had like a 24 karat gold casket and stuff like that. Girl, yeah. And then they're showing the funeral on live and there's hella people in the fucking funeral. Just with their mask on, not social distancing. Like, I think we're forgetting that we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Like, coronavirus is still going on.
Like, people on top of people.
People on top of people. It's getting recorded. It's on live on national TV.
Tell them, okay, so when he got murdered, where did he get murdered?
Okay, yeah, so that's my other thing. They did this. He got murdered in Minneapolis. They did his funeral in Houston, in his hometown. But you're telling me that you have hella people traveling from Minneapolis to Houston and who knows where else, and you're not quarantining yourself. Y'all are hella close. Like, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of people that have passed away and we've been affected by that personally.
Yeah, my grandma passed away and we didn't even get to like, we were on FaceTime and we all talked about what was going to happen to her. She got cremated. We didn't have no service.
There's no funeral that can happen. We have to do a Facebook Live in our home, social distancing, sad as fuck. And I get that this is sad and this is like making history and stuff, but come on, like, just be smart. Be smart. And it's just looking bad, I feel like.
I just feel like it does look bad. And in a way, it makes them look a little money hungry.
Yeah.
Because they, 24 karat gold. What?
Why?
You can donate to a whole bunch of things. There's no use for that.
And there's people that are dying in hospitals that can't see their families. They're being quarantined because they're sick and they can't get visitors at the hospital. Yeah. And and they're dying alone.
Yeah. And I think that it's just, it was a little over the top. You have to be getting paid to have people film this.
And to put it on live national TV.
Yes, you're getting paid for that. You're getting paid for that.
And I agree. I think they need to be compensated. I think Kanye, a few people have donated to give his daughter.
Like free education, all of that. But you know what? And this is what kills me. Why does it have to be a huge thing like this? Like, why does this big pandemic need to happen? Like, I just don't understand why a huge pandemic needs to happen for people to donate to families like this. Because there's tons of families who lose their loved ones, who are getting no money. They don't have money for a funeral.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you, the black people die every day, B. So it's like, for you, because this was publicized so much, of course it's getting the attention.
Right.
But there are tons of people and tons of families that have not had justice. Mm-hmm. Like Breonna Taylor, for one.
And this is important when you say, okay, this is all happening, and then after it's over, keep fighting. Right. Keep doing something about it.
And I'm so happy that people are still protesting and people are still getting together and doing this, because this shouldn't be a 2-week thing. Mm-hmm. This needs to be a month or more. Happening. Yes, it should be like
and it just needs to be a lifestyle change for everybody. Like, you know what?
Like every weekend, what you doing? Protesting,
Or just like spreading the awareness and spreading the knowledge and speaking up about these problems. It needs to change. Like, we just kind of sweep it under the rug and we get caught up in our whole daily lives, And we're just like, we all have it bad. Right. But this is like a situation where you're like, no, you need to stick up for everyone else and stick up for yourselves and like really bring that awareness to light. Yeah. Because if not, nothing's going to change. they're going to just keep thinking that it's okay. We could just keep sweeping it under the rug and that's it. Yeah, it's over,
right.
you know?
Right. And that's not the case.
And that can't be the case. We can't keep doing that. But I know we have to wrap it up soon. This was a really good episode. I want to keep doing episodes like this to bring awareness out.
I think it's important. I think that it's just important just because we can't just talk about this once. We have to figure out what we're going to do aside from this, beyond this. I think that's just very important.
Right.
So like me and Dolly will get together and talk about how are we going to contribute to this more than it already, you know, that
or what else can we do?
Right.
Like we can protest, we can post on social media, we can do this, but like what can we do really? I looked up a few things of what you guys, if you guys are interested in doing something to help, if you're not into protesting or anything like that, there's other ways you can help. And the first thing, of course, is donating. I'm going to be real. They say donate at Black Lives Matter, and I've heard iffy things about it. So maybe look more into it. I personally haven't looked into it, but before you go to blacklivesmatter.com to donate, just look a little bit more into it because I'm hearing that the donations are going somewhere else.
So just be cautious about where you are donating and who you're donating to.
Right. There's another one that you can donate to organizations that are committed to ending mass incarceration and extreme sentencing. Example, there's one called Equal Justice Initiative, and that provides legal representation to people who have been wrongly convicted, unfairly sentenced, or abused in state jails and prisons. And I know a lot of people are collecting money right now to bail out.
What a wonderful group, though.
Right.
Like, what?
There's a lot of people coming together to bail out protesters that are getting arrested.
Yeah, I've heard there's been a lot of donations for people who are getting locked up and
stuff. So there's a lot with those. You just look them up. There's another one, National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. So that's specifically to females.
And I just want to point out how possible it is to do these things now. Because back then when people were protesting, this wasn't an option. They didn't have people with fundraisers saving up money. If these people were locked up, they're locked up. Yeah. And that was it. Like, the fact that people are able to get all this money together to get people out of prison and everything, that's just wonderful. Like, that brings joy to my... I damn near want to get locked up.
Right. There's so many people wrongly convicted daily, and, like, it's important. You don't realize how important it is, but it's important. Because that's a whole other episode, the prison system and all that shit. I'm about to work for them. No, I'm just kidding. But you can also help families who have lost ones in killings. I looked that you can support Black-owned businesses. I'm sure if you research and you put in Google Black-owned businesses near me,
area,
you can easily just go there, give them, buy something off of them, help them out.
No, I think that the internet has been doing really good. They've been really good at supporting the Black-owned businesses and posting them and posting them in your area.
Especially with social media now, that you can post that anywhere.
They have you informed, so there's no excuses.
Yeah, and the reason they want to push supporting the Black-owned businesses so hard is because often these Black-owned businesses have had trouble securing loans and had issues accessing federal aid programs designed to alleviate the economic burden for small businesses struggling to stay afloat during all these like stay-at-home orders and stuff. So they've been struggling with it, which I'm sure a lot of businesses have. But, you know, racism, discrimination, they're probably getting targeted differently. So that's another way you can help. You can also help by educating yourself. Vice has a guide on how to find Black-owned restaurants by state. So if you want to go to Vice, you can do state by state. New York Magazine has a list of not just food companies, but also beauty, clothing, and fitness brands, among others. So yeah, there's different ways you can support. Another way you can support is the most important, I think, to me, is to educate yourself and have difficult conversations. And that's especially important, especially with family. I think during this time we're hearing that I'm seeing that a lot of my family members have different point of views as me. And maybe they're just, you know, they're coming, not that they disagree completely, they just don't see the big picture. They don't understand fully what's really happening. So educate yourself so that you can educate the ones around you and spread the knowledge and spread the awareness, you know?
Yes.
I think that's really important.
Very important.
Another thing you can do that I really liked was volunteer. And it says that a lot of people have been helping protesters, providing them with childcare or meals for the attending rallies, or they've been sewing masks to protect protesters, which is really cool. I didn't even think about what childcare.
Yeah, you
during
don't
the
think
protests.
And you know what? For people like me, you need that.
Right.
Like, I didn't.
Where's my baby gonna go?
Right. Because I thought about, a lot of people did bring their kids to protest. But I was scared because I didn't want to have my son, because him being young, I felt like this was something important for him to see. Will he understand it 100%? Probably not. So I did not bring him with me this time because I was scared that something would happen, a riot would involve. You don't know what's going to happen in these protests. So I didn't bring him. But in a situation like that, that's awesome for you to bring someone to do daycare for you while you go protest for what's right, so that you don't have to choose. Let me have to choose between standing up for something that's right or staying at home because I don't have childcare, which at the end of the day, you're going to end up staying home because you don't have a childcare. Right. So and some people, they were like, F it, I'm bringing my kid, if my kid was a little older, I would definitely, if he was like 6 or 7, I would definitely have him with me. But baby like that and like really young. Because my son is 4, so he's not really, he's going to be like, what is that? So it's hard to explain a pandemic aside from racism. And you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Yeah. So, and I feel like a pandemic is easier to explain than
racism.
Right. So, and that's something that I will have to teach him as he gets older, if his dad doesn't already teach him, how to go about a situation like that. That's something I'm going to have to research and talk to him about, because me personally, I don't have any, I can't relate like that because I've never been in a situation where I was discriminated or I had a family member who was killed over something, so. And
that's why it's so important, the educating yourself.
Yeah.
Especially if you have kids, you got to raise them in this situation, in this kind of world.
I wish that when I grew up, that I would have known the truth about things in certain ways. There's ways to teach kids things, so the history we learned about basura, garbage. Half the stuff they taught us was garbage, Yeah. It was the history of America, but it wasn't everybody's history.
Right.
It was not everybody's.
It was American history.
Yeah, it was America's point of view of the situation, not everyone else's.
So it's important, to really learn about all that. You got one side, there's always three sides of the story. It's one person's side, the other person's side, and the truth.
Right.
And we're really only getting one side, truly, unless we really, really educate ourselves to the other side.
Right.
I want to end with something that Angela Davis said, and she was a really active member, really famous person with the Black Panthers.
She was one of the main people who spoke for them.
Yeah, she was a really big activist on it.
Yes.
Went to jail a few times.
Well, they charged her for something and gave her the maximum sentence, of course, because they don't want people like her being out. They don't want no educated. Smart. They don't want no educated Black women out here.
She was real
showing
smart.
Showing people out, telling people what it really is, so they don't like that. They don't want an educated person leading these people, because then something might happen.
Yeah.
Some people might actually learn something. They might become aware, so
they see it as a threat. But she said that I really liked this quote that she had said. She put, "In order to make social and economic change in a society rife with institutional racism, it's not enough to not be racist, but rather people need to be actively anti-racist. For many people, learning how to be a helpful ally, the best place to start is educating themselves and listening."
Yes.
And I was like, there it is. Actively anti-racist. That's the only way we can make a change.
But like she said, educating yourself. But I think the number one there is listening. Listening to other people's opinions on
with
things.
An open mind.
Yes.
Which is really hard to do when there's beliefs instilled in you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When people have these hardcore beliefs that they're not letting go of, you need to sit down and listen. Right. And take other people's things. Consider, at least take it in, consider it, think about it. You might not agree, but see their point of view with it. So, it's important. Do that.
Do it now. But yeah, we need to wrap it up. That was a really good episode.
Yeah. I think this is our longest episode.
It is our longest episode.
Man, I feel like we could talk more and more about this.
Oh yeah, for
there's
sure.
just so much to touch up on when it comes to this, but just inform yourself, be smart, teach your kids about it, whether you're white or Black. It doesn't matter, or Hispanic. Teach your kids about what's going on.
And be kind. Be kind and patient and, like we said, understanding.
You don't know what anyone's going through.
And agree to disagree sometimes. Sometimes that's what you just need to do. Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
If y'all see different sides of something,
let it be.
Like, we don't see eye to eye. And that's okay.
But at the end of the day, just do what's right. Do what's right for everyone, not just yourself. So.
Right. And if, somebody's just, like, really fucking racist, just drop them. Don't deal with that person because that's just a whole headache y'all don't want.
Right. Because there are some people who just don't get it and they don't want to. So.
Yeah. But, we need to wrap it up. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Email us if you have any stories you want us to talk about or any questions you want answered.
If you want to tell us more on this subject and, give us more in depth of what you feel on this subject or whatever, give us some knowledge. We're open.
Yeah, we're always open to new things. We're still learning a lot. We're still very much in like the learning stages, I feel like. So if you want to contribute any knowledge, we're always open to that.
Thank you for listening, you guys. We'll
Bye. See you Monday.
Bye.